We think Honor's Magic 2 has a very unique camera setup, and it's quite similar to Huawei's Mate 20 Pro setup in fact. So how do these stack up against each other? Let's jump into this with a picture of a flower. I like how Honor's colors have remained more natural while the Mate 20 Pro photo goes for a more vibrant look, which slightly deviates from the real colors. With AI turned on, the effect of the saturated colors is very visible from Huawei's image sample. The Mate 20 Pro also seems to have a higher sharpness in the photo, but color accuracy wise, the Magic 2 is still better. When using the wide angle lens for a macro shot, the Huawei shows its worth. The little petals on the flower are much better focused compared to the Magic 2's wide angle lens, which struggles to keep focus. Moving to a more scenic shot, the Huawei clearly shows its camera capabilities. The picture from it has a much higher dynamic range. The detail on the buildings or within the flowers in the foreground is just better seen on the Huawei in this case. The image from the Honor phone just looks a lot muddier and dull compared to Huawei's. The same trend is seen in this picture where the color balance is better from the Mate 20 Pro. Again, the detailing in the shadows is much better from the Mate 20 Pro. When zooming in 2 times, the results from either phone are not bad. The optical zoom on both phones seems to work well, but at 10 times zoom, you really start to see Huawei's better image processing with AI stabilization, something the Magic 2 doesn't have. I thought it'd be nice to throw in one more scene that really tests dynamic range for both these phones. This picture of the Dubai frame shows that both phones are more than capable of handling such scenarios, but the better picture comes from the Mate 20 Pro camera. Testing the wide-angle lens on both phones here too, I'm impressed by both of them, but while the Magic 2's photo lacks sharpness and natural color tones, the Mate 20 Pro image captures both of those. Using the front cameras, here's a selfie I took with both the phones. The dynamic range from the Mate 20 Pro is much better, and so is the detail retention on the face. The Magic 2 goes for more of a beautified look, which I don't prefer, and with portrait mode enabled, the Magic 2 dulls down the image but does an okay job with edge detection. I like how the Mate 20 Pro still retains the sharpness in the image, but I was surprised to see it not do so well with edge detection in this case. Indoors, in this particular image, both phones are doing good. Each image has its own colors, but the warmer image from the Mate 20 Pro is more accurate. It's also worthy to note that the Mate 20 Pro image has a blurrier background which shows its superior natural shallow depth of field. But this indoor image is a bit different. Once again, the Mate 20 Pro image outclasses the Magic 2's, but that's because you're looking at them side by side. Alone, the Magic 2's pictures are still noteworthy, and sometimes even side by side like in this case. There's not much to differ between these two images using aperture mode on both phones, and I actually prefer how the Magic 2's picture is. I think that leads us nicely onto nighttime photos. If you look at both of these photos, they're both very good, but neither is able to capture the mood of the scene. While detailing is great, the lighting around was much darker than what the scene portrays. Using night mode on both the phones, we can see how each phone's processing differs. The Magic 2 tries to brighten up the image even more, and by doing so actually loses detail in the background, whereas the Mate 20 Pro image is now definitely much closer to reality. The color and detailing is incredible, and definitely the Mate 20 Pro's image is better. Another case of superior nighttime processing from the Mate 20 Pro comes here. Without night mode, the Mate 20 Pro has the much better picture, which is surprising considering the Magic 2 has a black and white lens among its triple camera setup. And with the nighttime mode toggle, you can really see the sharpness and detail from the Mate 20 Pro. The Magic 2 in this scenario remains fairly unchanged, and the processing introduces a lot of noise and grain to the picture. With that, we can move on to our last image samples, the front camera ones. Once again, the detail from the Mate 20 Pro just seems better. Unfortunately, the Magic 2 wasn't able to get a portrait front photo in low light, whereas the Mate 20 Pro had no trouble doing so. Here's a quick look at some 1080p footage from both the phones side by side. The Magic 2 performs significantly worse at capturing detail as well as with stabilization, and with 4K video, the Magic 2 footage looks cropped in and stabilization just seems worse than even 1080p footage. Here too, I think the Mate 20 Pro is the better video camera phone. Moving to front-facing video, this is from the cameras on both the Huawei Mate 20 Pro and the Honor Magic 2. You can judge the stabilization of footage from these two samples, as well as how the audio sounds in the video, if you could use this phone for vlogging or not. That's all for this comparison. Let us know what you think down in the comments below, and I hope you guys found it useful. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.